In life, you don't win if you land a person who triggers you into becoming a lesser version of yourself. Now, I'm not up here saying that your avoidant is a loser, but let me ask you this. Is being emotionally connected with them, is it helping you feel like a winner? If you are on this channel, you may be going through a time where you feel like this avoidant person in your life, they're better than you, and you will never measure up. You believe these lies in your head because you have been exposed to the exact wrong kind of people. People who don't know you because they're too focused on themselves to ever intimately, really get to know anyone else. Or you believe the lies coming from other people who are threatened by you because there's something about your willingness to reach for happiness and love that they are missing. And because they can't handle it, they pull you down to make themselves feel more comfortable. And notice I said they pull you down. Hello friends, my name is Maria, and it took me far too long to realize that people who pull us down to their level are not a prize. You don't want to win partners who are so consistent in their selfish and disappointing actions that they manage to keep you from shining. Now, you and I, we're not perfect. We're going to have our flaws in relationships. But this is completely different than living your life with someone who has trained themselves not to feel emotion or face accountability. This is a losing game that erodes your self-image. I lost at love for a long time until the day I sat down, painted my nails, and began to do something every day that would help protect me from accidentally perceiving a self-absorbed, breadcrumbing, emotionally stunted ghoster as a prize to be won. And I would like to share my strategy with you today. So grab a bottle of nail polish and let's talk. Last week, I did a video on the messed up languages that expat coaches use to manipulate you. And I had a lot of viewers in the comments talking about how, well, I used Chris Cedar as an example in the video, and a lot of people were saying that these coaches are actually avoidant themselves. So that's their shtick, right? I'm an avoidant, let's focus on me and how I think and how I feel. And of course, all of these coaches love to tell anxious people, don't you make one wrong move, or you've blown up the whole thing and you have to start all over again. See, I don't think that's reality. I just think that's how their mind works, because they are avoidant. And while I do agree with no contact, I do not agree that in the grand scheme of things, the person who's meant for you is going to completely discard you because you sent them one text message because you were having a weak moment. It's ridiculous how in these videos, these avoidant coaches who have never spoken to you are already telling you why you aren't attractive to the people that you love and how you need to change. They've never even met you. How incredibly smug. But they already got what they wanted. They got your investment, and whether you're happy or not, they get to ride off into the sunset. Now, who does that remind you of? I guess some people never change. And despite the hundreds of thousands of people who misguidedly click on these videos discussing how to get your avoidant ex back, avoidants are not a prize to be won. DAs seem like they are a prize to be won because at first glance, they appear to have qualities which are universally attractive. Take autonomy, for example. It is constantly shoved down our throats that avoidants highly value their autonomy. But what you might not realize, because you've been around the wrong kind of people for too long, is you can find a partner who has autonomy without all of the emotional neglect attached. It's true. There are plenty of people out there who can have a great time on a date with you, and they don't feel the need to pull a disappearing act until they are ready to see you again because they need their space. Ah, yes, the great need for space. We are told the way to win back our avoidant is to give them space. The space helps them become reattracted to you. So they no longer feel unsafe and worried about being around you. Being with someone who worries that they're going to have to be around you is not what winning feels like. And I am so sorry if you have gotten to the point where you feel like you need to change in order to be more suitable for someone who stresses out that they're going to have to spend time with you. If this is you, then we got to get you to more of a winner mentality because you are not there. And why not? Well, simply put, you're not used to winning. You're used to being in an environment or being surrounded by people that will not allow you to win. A few years ago, I had a business that was greatly affected when my city made a decision that basically made it customers couldn't get into my store. And as much as I tried to hold on to this business, I had no control over what was happening. I felt completely powerless. And for the better part of a year, I woke up every day feeling like a failure, feeling like a loser. And if you can imagine, in this scenario, for that long, it really starts to do a number on how you see yourself. And I definitely didn't see myself as a winner. Finally, one day, to blow off some steam, I went out and I played mini golf with some friends. I knew that something was seriously out of whack when I won the game of mini golf, and I burst into tears. I was so used to feeling like the whole world wanted to keep me from winning that I forgot I even could. If you are going through a discard, trying to get someone back in your life who is a professional at acting like they don't care, I'm sure that you are feeling completely powerless. No matter how many videos you click on, no matter what you do to try to repair the relationship, you just can't win. And if you have felt like a loser for months now, then find some small wins that are just for yourself. And I do mean for yourself. Wins that are unbiased, they are not based on what anyone else thinks, and they do not set you up to fail. We can get into big trouble when we have felt powerless or neglected or lonely for so long that we accidentally fall into the clutches of the first person who tells us that we look beautiful. Welcome to the other half, where we know attraction is not just about looks. We also have to take care of the inner half, because we don't want to fall for unhealthy relationships when some toxic love bomber tells us that we're smart or we're handsome or we're awesome because we so badly want to believe it. Relationships are so much better when we come into them already knowing it. And while none of us are perfect, we can do little things every day that help build our self-respect and our confidence and give us those little dopamine hits that protect us from feeling like we can only get those little dopamine hits from the approval of others. There are a few things that I challenge myself to do every single day. It keeps me creative, and while it is a daily challenge, winning the challenge is not unattainable. And it helps me achieve goals, which builds my confidence and boosts my self-image. So I have a free app on my phone. I believe it's called Chore Checklist Lite. You can use whatever you want. But I used this to create daily challenges that were basically categories in life. These are Cliff Note version examples of my challenges, and perhaps if you'd like to try the challenge, you can take these and tailor them around your own daily life. The first challenge is the only challenge that you have to do first, because doing it first is the challenge. No matter what I've got going on that day, I take a few minutes every morning to clean myself up, get dressed, and take a few minutes to make myself look nice. And I do this even if it's my day off, even if I'm virtually positive I will not interact with another human being that day. And I know this sounds easy, but if you are someone who is not used to taking care of yourself every day, or you've only ever gotten gussied up for other people, for their validation, well, it's harder than you think. After that, in no particular order, we have work. The challenge is, if I am scheduled to work that day, or if I have scheduled myself to work on a side hustle that day, it doesn't matter what else I have going on emotionally or around me, I show up to work. It doesn't matter how I feel, and I do the very best job that I can. Then I have a challenge where a lot of times this takes place driving to and from work, where I try to do something where I learn how to improve or further myself. A lot of times I like listening to channels on how to budget money, reach financial goals, or plan for how do I budget for a vacation that I would really like to take. Even if it's only a few minutes, you learn something about how to improve something that you're not quite happy with yet when it comes to your own life. The next challenge is to find 15 minutes in my day to do something physically active. Maybe a couple times a week I'll go to the gym and actually lift weights, but if it only takes 15 minutes, on a lot of days when I'm really busy, I'll walk or I'll hop on a bicycle. This is where, it kind of keeps you a little bit creative, especially if you don't like exercise. You could walk a neighbor's dog, you could go roller skating, you could walk around a mall. It doesn't matter. You just have to be up off of your butt for 15 minutes. The next challenge is for me to go the whole day eating in a way that I feel is healthy. Food is very personal, so if you're a vegan or a carnivore, it doesn't matter. Whatever food plan you're on, you stick to it for the whole day. Now, what I've found is I am a very emotional eater, so if I can go the whole day without munching on cookies when I get stressed out, that's a win. The next challenge is to take an amount of time that you decide, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, doesn't matter, and you use the time to clean up the environment around you. Going through your life in a clean environment absolutely helps you boost your self-image. And there's a better chance that you are helping to create a world around you that you enjoy hanging out in. The next challenge is to do something involving other people who actively love you back. Now for me, what that looks like is family time, 30 minutes a day, absolutely no cell phones. I also recently started incorporating calling my sister on Tuesdays on my 10-minute drive home from work. You check in with your mom, you text your friend and ask them how they're doing. You haven't heard from them in a while. It doesn't matter, but it has to be someone who has proven themselves to be a valuable person who contributes to your happiness and who reciprocates your energy. And of course, the final challenge is to do something just for you. That could involve painting your nails, scrapbooking, taking a bubble bath, learning some sheet music. It doesn't matter, but it's fun and it's for you. Now, I don't necessarily do these things on the weekends because I like to keep the weekends a little more flexible, but I recommend if right now you are going through a particularly hard time, going through a breakup or feeling rejected or discarded, do these things every single day, because I know that after a breakup, the weekends they loom over you because they used to be filled with someone that you cared about. So now you're going to fill your weekends with caring about yourself more than you care to text someone else who doesn't deserve it. Completing these daily challenges is attainable, but it's still a challenge. It's not easy, and I don't win every category every day, but I never stop trying, and I win the bigger picture because in a nutshell, you are taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your career, your future. You're taking care of your environment, and you're taking care of the people around you who you love. This is life fulfillment, and it is the absolute best defense when it comes to cutting out the clowns in your life, because when you build more respect for yourself, you won't understand people who want to disrespect you for completely invalid reasons. And you certainly won't put up with anyone who tells you why you're not good enough, why you need to change, and why you're not a winner when they've never even met you. Winning over someone who doesn't even act like they like you is not a win. Having someone who wants to see you after a long day at work, that is a win. Having someone who looks forward to seeing you on the weekends, that's a win. Having someone who cares that it's your dog's birthday, yeah, that's a win. Having someone who agrees to plans with you and then follows through with them without some dramatic, crappy, solemn attitude, that's a win. And I feel like in this world of modern dating on social media, it's like situationships are glorified and avoidants are prizes to be won. But let's not talk about how unhappy and unfulfilled people are becoming. Because heaven forbid you want something more for yourself than an emotionally stunted, fair weather, half-love partner who stares at you blankly or feels a need to escape whenever they pull something uncaring, and as a natural result, you experience a negative feeling. Oh, but don't worry, they'll be back once you finally feel like you can no longer stand the silence and you are emotionally bullied into putting a pin in the discussion about their inappropriate behavior forever. This is why over and over again you hear about anxious people. They say that when they're in relationships with dismissive avoidants, they don't have a voice. If you'd like to know some great ways I've learned to nip the silent treatment in the bud, I'll go ahead and put the video in the description below. We don't want to win partners like this. We want to win healthy relationships with our romantic partners or our friends or our family. And yeah, we want to win a healthy relationship with ourselves too. So your avoidant dumped you. Well, I guess you win. You win the chance to have a healthy family with kids that are happy and don't feel abandoned. Because trust me, whatever your partner can make you feel, they're going to make your kids feel the same way too. You win the opportunity to enjoy important days in life because you're not emotionally tethered to a partner who has convenient health flare-ups whenever a day rolls around that's supposed to be a happy celebration. You win the chance to reach your full potential in life because you are not tied down to someone who takes the focus off of your success with their hot and cold behavior. You win the chance to remember what it's like to win. And in this crazy life, now and then, that is something that we all need. Get out of this X-back echo chamber mentality that tells you that you need to change or please people who've never even bothered to be emotionally present enough with you to get to know who you are. People enjoy the feeling like they've nabbed a prize. People like to win. So give people what they want. The next time you go to meet someone, lean back and say to yourself, all right, I'm going to give you the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win me over. If this video helped you, so will this one. My name is Maria Adriana. You did not have to live my life, but I certainly hope you can learn something from it. As always, thank you for visiting the other half.